Onion dip with chippies or carrot sticks or celery sticks and possibly fancier things in more rarefied kitchens than mine. It is, of course, a Kiwi culinary institution, author unknown. Until, that is, our colleague Hayden Donnell, writing for the spin-off, went in search of her and found her after some fine sleuth work at a retirement village in the Auckland suburb of Epsom. Her name is Rosemary Dempsey. She was a home economist who got a call from Nestle to work for them in an attempt to bid flagging sales in some lines. And the rest, as many of us can attest, is history. Rosemary, who regards her family, not onion dip, as her finest creation, thinks all of this publicity is a bit of a hoot.
I tell you, John, it's totally overwhelming. I think it's hilarious. Here am I, sort of 55 years later, talking about onion dip.
and tell us the story, because it's such a great story. Onion soup sales were falling, right? And so you decided to do something about it.
Yes, they were. Well, it was rather good because in the test, as head of the test kitchen, I used to go to the AC Nielsen reports where they checked on how different products were selling. And onion soup wasn't doing very well, and I thought, well, that's a challenge if ever there was one. And also, I didn't at that time think about the reduced cream, but I went back to the test kitchen and thought, well, what can we do with this? And I had been making dips for my own parties, but not that sort of dip. And I thought, well, dips are popular, what can we do? So I tried it with ordinary cream, and it was foul. I mean, it didn't do a thing, actually. And then I thought, this is stupid. Why shouldn't I? Oh, I'm having trouble with little things in my ear. I would do something with reduced cream. After all, it was one of our products. So I put them together, and much to my surprise, they tasted good. So that's how it happened.
Now, Rosemary, you can't. I need to tell our listeners this. As Rosemary was talking then, her earpiece fell out. No, that's all right. I'm just remarking on how extraordinarily composed you are. How old are you, Rosemary?
I will be 86 on the 5th of May.
Right, and this is your first ever live cross into radio, isn't it? Your earpiece fell out, and just like a pro, you keep talking, and Zach has replaced it, and I just think actually that speaks to the spirit that invented onion dip, just quietly.
But can I let you into a secret? I was in broadcasting in the 50s.
You were not.
I was so. Yes.
And so
I also did the... I was with ZB, with Waggaray, with New Plymouth. I sort of did the women's programs and shopping reporters and things like that. Great fun.
Which would have given you a fantastic insight into what worked and what didn't, right, in the catering and cocktail party kind of sense.
Yes, it did too. That'd be real. Yes, yes.
And so when the onion dip, when the onion soup that wasn't selling started to sell because your onion dip recipe was sort of instantly becoming legendary, what was that like?
Well, it was a job, and I didn't really think anything of it. I was just so delighted. I couldn't wait for the next Nielsen's to see how much onion soup we'd sold or how much reduced cream. And I felt pretty good about it as it went up. You know, I really felt, hey, I did this. So, you know, it was good. But, John, it was a job. And it was anything, you know, if you try your best and you do what you think and something works, that's a bonus.
Yes, it is, and it's a wonderfully rewarding bonus. But I don't think there are many things we do that work quite as wonderfully well and become part of a country's life as your little recipe did. And the extraordinary thing is people are still eating it now. In fact, I heard you telling Bradley, our cameraman, they eat it there, right, at your retirement village.
Yes, they do. Yes, I'm in Epsom Village, and they have a happy hour every Thursday, and onion dip, without my knowledge even. I wasn't even aware it was happening, but they served it all the time. When I was telling Hayley and Anna about it in the office, and the manager, and they said, hey, come and have a look. And in the cupboard here are these packets of soup, tins of reduced cream. Ah, I was surprised.
And of course they didn't know the author of that recipe was there amongst them. Why did it work so well? What was it that connected with people?
No way. I think the simplicity. I think probably that's what I'd put it down to. I think simplicity is the secret in cooking. I cannot spend hours preparing something. I think you can prepare something very simple with few ingredients, and that's what I think that was the secret. 2 ingredients, easy to keep in the cupboard. Boom.
Boom. Rosemary Dempsey, who invented onion dip when she was experimenting for Nestle and trying to get sales of onion soup, Maggi onion soup, I think, up. It was falling. By golly, that was a success story. Massive hat tip to to Hayden at the spin-off for tracking Rosemary down. What a wonderful, lovely, lovely character. Great voice.